popular culture would have you believe appears everywhere. We'll see about that. The fourth chapter, on size designs, opens with an introduction to ergonomics, the science of designing for both ease of use and for safety, and it deals with one of its most consequential applications in our restless society, the design of aircraft seats. Given the unmistakable modern trend towards larger designs of so many essential artifacts, from electricity-generating stations to wind turbines, from motor vehicles to airplanes, it is revealing to look at the growth of some of these sizes over time and at some of the limits that already restrict their further expansion. Much like organisms, artifacts have their growth limits. The fifth chapter looks at scaling, how a particular size changes as a consequence of another change taking place. You may have never thought about this, but you will already know some of the answers. If you weigh 60 kilograms, you know that people who weigh twice as much do not have head circumferences twice as large. But have you ever thought about their hearts? Are they the same size as yours? And if not, how much larger must they be? The scaling of metabolism, how energy requirements depend on body mass in humans, other mammals, and other classes of animals, is particularly important. The sixth chapter is devoted to these realities. After that, what remains to be said about size? The more statistically minded readers might point out that, so far, I have not said anything about size distributions. You know that the Earth's features, whether mountain heights or lake areas, and living organisms, be they micro or macroscopic, as well as countless artifacts, from the simplest tools to the most elaborate machines, come in a variety of sizes. But how are these sizes distributed? When graphed, do they display symmetry, or are they highly asymmetrical? The last two chapters will answer these questions. As opposed to my andante beginning, the closing chapter will be at least allegro, if not presto, as I will try to provide a summation worthy of the third decade of the 21st century. Brief, size-limited entries briskly moving along. Listeners hoping for a grand finale ending in a stunning revelation of condensed wisdom will be greatly disappointed. There is no apotheosis here, no triumphal chords. If there is such a finale to cap a book devoted to the unruly and complex realities of size, to its measurements, perceptions, properties, changes, scaling, and distributions, it will have to wait for the next, bolder and more perceptive, interdisciplinarian to compose it. I have done my best. Chapter 1. Size as the measure of all things. Protagoras, the first and perhaps the greatest of Greek sophist philosophers, opened his book on truth with the famous phrase, "Man is the measure of all things. Panton krematon metron estin anthropos." This led to a stream of arguments, explanations, and denials that shows no sign of abating. I have neither the qualifications nor any reckless desire to join these philosophical debates. I simply want to stress the obvious. Philosophers deconstructing Protagoras' opening line focus on his choice of man, anthropos, but is not the choice of measure, metron, just as central to his pronouncement? Anthropos is not an observer or a subject, nor a witness or a judge, but is the measure of all things. And, inevitably, measuring, be it explicit and using actual physical units, or implicit, by comparing someone or something to a standard or to a mental image, is reckoning with size. The perception of size is inextricably bound up with the perception of shape, the spatial form, the outward appearance, the identifiable features of an object. John Locke, in his Essay Concerning Human Understanding, went as far as claiming that in organized bodies, plants and animals, the shape is that which to us is the leading quality and most characteristical part that determines the species. For however some men seem to prize their definition,